Good morning, everyone. This is Ashomit, and thank you for joining this webinar, which is streaming live. And today we are again with a new topic, that is stress management. And we shall be starting at 10, which is the official time for this webinar that was announced earlier. And we will wait for participants to join till 10:10, and so there are 4 webinars in this series, and one is stress management. Then there are 2 poems that we are completing in this webinar, and there are 2 theories, management theories, motivational theories, that will be completed. So the theories thing is tomorrow, and then the rest 2 days after that is for poems, and this is by Maya Angelou, and again those are motivational poetry. So this series, the theme of this series is motivation, and you may share the link with your friends so that they can also join. And before starting, let me tell you the structure of this webinar. So there will be 3 parts. First is the theory, the discussion and the delivery of the content. The second is feedback form, and if you're interested in certificates, we'll also provide that. And one of the prerequisite for certificate is the feedback form. You need to fill the feedback form, and then we'll be giving you the certificates through email, of course soft copy of the certificates. And not only this, there are plenty of other webinars that we'll be launching. We are planning to launch in the future, and please share with your friends, those who are interested. So this will be a short webinar, probably 1 hour or 90 minutes, and in which we'll try to get a understanding of what is stress and how to manage stress, what are the symptoms of stress, types of stress. So it will give you some idea. Okay, it will give you some techniques as well as some important points, okay, that have practical implications. And if we can use that in our life, if we can employ those things in our lives, then probably I think we can somehow improve the present stress management skills that we have. And so we shall start at 10, that's the official time, and we'll wait for participants to join. So technically this is going to be an interesting session. It is something which is natural, it is something which is common, and these information should be there with us irrespective of the subject that we teach or subject that we study. Okay, and the last 2 webinars are dedicated to poetry, and it will be good for the person who are doing English literature, BA or MA in English literature. So they can definitely come and watch, and if they are preparing for next set examination, then this is good for them. And for teachers also, they will get some easily available material to teach. So stress management is the topic today. So it is distributed into various aspects of it, like what is stress. We'll understand at the beginning, we'll understand what is stress, and then we will understand the types of stress. Okay, we'll give some examples, and that will make us clear like what is this exactly. And then we will be showing you the techniques which we can use to fight stress. And there is one more thing I want to tell you, that the audience that is live, the students or the participants that are live, are only eligible to get the certificates. So you need to watch live, and I'll share the feedback form in the chat box once we finish the webinar, and there you can fill the feedback, give your valuable feedback there, and then we can move ahead with the certificates. So I think this is a very interesting session, and I also believe that you would also like this, and because this is something we all have, and this is natural, and we have to come face to face with stress in some or the other time in our lives, and this has become, the part and parcel of our daily life, because there are plenty of things that gives us stress, and that's why it becomes indispensable for us to know what exactly is stress, and what are the symptoms, and apart from that, how we can fight with it. Okay, so it is all about perspective. This is what is stress management. Stress is all about perspective. If it is taken positively, then it is positive stress. If it is taken negatively, this is negative stress. And so this is what we will try to understand here, that we need to change the perspective. There is one way: either we can change the perspective, or if the stress has caught us, we can fight with it. So there are two things, like first is change the perspective, and the second is the technique to fight the stress. Okay, and these days, like, we have plenty of data input happening: Facebook, WhatsApp, social media, Twitter. They have humongous amount of data in the form of videos, text, pictures that are getting bombarded into our brains, and they somehow can force us to go through this psychological issue, that is stress. And this is basically body's response, how the body is responding to something is stress. Okay, so it's a reaction merely, so we can control it, no doubt, but it requires certain amount of practice, as well as some understanding of which things gives us stress. Okay, so stress management, I think this is a beautiful topic, and probably most of you would know about it. For those who know, this would be a refresher, and those who don't, it's okay, like they would be having a new chunk of knowledge for themselves. So we shall start at 10:05, and I think most of the students will come and watch later, but the certificates are for those who watch live only, and not an issue. So you can tell your students and all your friends to come here and share this video or subscribe this channel. And so we do have a Facebook page as well, and I think I'll be sharing you through the email, so you can get there and you will receive the first-hand information about any webinar that we are going to do free. Okay, and so stress management is a beautiful topic, again I'm saying, and no doubt what we have to understand here is perspective and how to deal with it. Okay, so stress is a reaction, and body works on hormones, that we'll be seeing there are few hormones that are related. When body reacts to stress, body releases hormones, and there are few hormones that we need to control and take care of. One of the best thing to fight stress is exercise. And so those who are watching, they can share with their friends, or probably in the groups or Facebook page, so that students can come and join. So basically this is the topic, these are the topic that we are going to cover today. We'll be understanding stress, we'll understand again the causes of stress, then symptoms of stress and coping with stress. So these 4 things we'll be covering in this webinar, short webinar, but I'll make sure that we get all the necessary information out of it. So understanding stress is important. We need to understand basically what it is, okay, and then causes of stress, that comes to why stress is there, then how stress works, symptoms of stress, and how we can cope with the stress. Okay, so all these 4 things will be learning today, will be understanding today, and of course this will be through PPTs. So if you need PPTs, I can also send you that. And please share this to within your groups, Facebook pages, and or with your friends on WhatsApp if they are there, okay, if they are interested in stress management. I think many people have written on stress management, okay, so, and that's why it becomes an important topic to discuss today, because this is the most basic problem we face in this competitive world. So stress is something that is inside of us, and probably this comes from outside. A stimulus is required, and and this is the reaction for that stimulus, and we need to cope with that. We need to understand, and we need to not live in stress, because if we are living longer in that attitude and in the stressful situation, the stressful attitude, what is going to happen is there will be overflow of hormones, okay, there will be malfunctioning within the body, and various body parts will start to respond in a different way in which they shouldn't be, okay, high blood pressure, okay, depression, suicidal thoughts, all are the effects of stress. And there should be some relaxation techniques as well to make us understand, okay. So let us start, and I think student will watch later. But yes, the certificates are for only those who watch live, and that too when you fill the feedback form, and I'll be sharing the feedback form with you all once we finish this, okay. And so let us start. So the first thing that we are going to cover today is understanding stress. So before talking about causes, symptoms, coping, we need to understand the nature of stress, okay, because if we do not know what exactly it is, we won't be able to understand further, okay. So if we know what the thing is, then we can somehow create our own response to that, okay. So what is stress basically? It is our physical and mental reaction. Please mind that, physical and mental reaction to changes, situation and events in life. Yes, good morning. So what is stress? Okay, so let me get back to the topic. These are the topics that we'll be covering today: understanding stress, understanding the causes of stress, symptoms of stress, coping with stress. Okay, all these things we are going to cover today. So let us start with understanding the stress. So what is stress basically? It is our physical and mental reaction to changes, okay, situation and events in life. So it's a reaction. It is a physical and mental reaction to changes. Number one, situations and events in life. So first of all, it's a reaction. Okay, like there is a fight and flight reaction in psychology. When there is a dangerous situation or is a death and living situation, what happens? Our body either fights instinctively or runs away. Okay, this is what the body does. So similarly, stress is a physical and mental reaction, and the stimulus are situation, events in life and changes. And the other thing is, reaction is based on the perception. Reaction is objective, but the perception is subjective. So there can be two kinds of reaction. One is negative reaction, another is positive reaction. So the negative reaction of stress is called distress, whereas positive reaction is called eustress. So distress is when we get out of control, okay, we feel oppressed or we get overwhelmed, okay, and this is bad for health. Whereas positive reaction is fight, okay, boredom, rise to challenge. This is good for health. Okay, so example like airplane flight. Okay, if we are flying, this is a situation in life or event in life, and the reaction to that is loss of appetite. Okay, so this is something negative reaction. Okay, and stress is always a question of, most of the time stress is a question of perception. Okay, for some people, some situation they'll take positively, but for some people they'll take the same situation negatively. Okay, for some people flying on an airplane is a happiness experience, is a happy experience, whereas for somebody else it's a disastrous experience. They might lose appetite, or they might vomit. Okay, so it is all about perception. So it is physical and mental reaction to changes, situation in life. This is what stress is, and it is based on perception. How we take, based on our, probably perception is defined from the past experiences. Perception is basically perception is the refined form of our experience, collection of experience. We can take it either positively or we can take it negatively. Okay, so again it's a question of perception. So there are few examples of bad negative reaction of stress to changes, situation in life. This is bad for health. For example, any serious injury, the loss of job or flight, being neglected and abused, filing for divorce or separation. So all these activities, all these changes, situation of life might lead to distress, negative reactions. Okay, loss of job, being neglected and abused, filing for divorce or separation. So all these are normal thing in life. They give us stress. So in stress, this is called distress, the negative perception. Okay, so so this is what we need to understand. Okay, so stress again is a reaction to changes, mental and physical reaction to changes, situation and events in life. Okay, and changes, that reaction is dependent on perception. That could be negative or positive. If it is negative, it is called distress. If it is positive, the technical term, the medical term for that is eustress. Okay. So distress, what are the causes of distress? We can say that, we can see here. Any serious injury, loss of job, being neglected, filing for a divorce, punishment, breakup, okay, rejection. All these are the causes of stress. Okay. And stress is the origin of depression. So we'll understand that later. Okay. And I want to thank you everyone, those who have joined, and I want to welcome them as well. Thank you so much for joining. And now let us talk about eustress. This is good for health. Okay. For example, marriage, birth of a child, buying first home, moving to some new place to attend college. Okay. Probably all these are stressful activity. Buying first home is stressful activity. It's distress, but it depends on the perception. Most of the people will think this is a stress, but this is a good stress because they're getting happiness after doing that. Okay. Like marriage, it's a stressful. Okay, ye arrange karna hai, we have to arrange that, we have to arrange that. Okay, how the bride will be, how the groom will be, how their family will be. Okay, there is a expenditure, good amount of expenditure will be there. Okay, but this is something which is, we will take it in a happy order. We will understand this is for happiness. Marriage is for happiness. Similarly, buying first home, birth of a child, although this is stressful, but we are happy. Okay, moving some new place to attend college, so we are stressed, we have distress, but at the same we also are eustressed, because this is something that is more inclined toward giving us happiness. Okay, so all these are probable, all these are examples of the situation that might give eustress, but it is all based on perception. First, stress is a reaction to changes in that, mental and physical, and reaction is based on perception. Perception is created by experiences, past experiences, and then it could be negative as well as positive. If it is taken into negative premises, then this is bad for health. Okay, and I have shown you some stimuluses which can motivate negative stress. Okay, that is distress, and I have also given you some examples of eustress which is good for health. For example, buying first home, buying a super bike. Okay, although super bike might be expensive, super bike is expensive, but the thrill that we get is good for health, because if we are feeling good, all the parts and all the cells and all the tissues of the body will be reflecting the same thing. So it is all about perception, how we take the things. Okay. Now we will understand the causes of stress. Till now we have understood what stress is basically. So it is basically a reaction to changes, situation and events of life, and reaction is based on perception. This could be negative or positive. Okay, and then if it is negative, then this is de-stress. If it is positive, this is eustress. Okay. And now we'll understand few of the causes of stress. Okay, and let us try to understand the causes of stress. There are three categories of, there are three overall. If you want to see from bird's eye view, there are three categories or three things that generally can cause stress. Number one is feeling that an outside force is threatening or challenging us. So when some outside force is threatening or challenging us, okay, for example, if the teacher is dominating us, if someone is bullying us, okay, or if in our house only, if somebody is not behaving well, is threatening, okay, or is challenging us, then this creates the situation or the reaction that is stress. Okay. And then there is a thing that the feeling that we have lost personal control. Okay, what is that? It's a belief that we cannot, okay, it's a belief Personal control is a belief that we can and control, master and shape of our own life. जब हमारे, like when the life gets out of our hands, okay, when what we expect do not happen, what we expect does not happen, then this feeling comes up. Okay, suppose if you wanted to, we wanted to secure the first position in the class, but we are unable to do so. This is the simple example. Then we might go towards stress. Or probably we thought that by 12:30 in today afternoon I'll be able to complete that. Okay, but I couldn't do that. So this is a stressful situation. If somebody has called me to be there, okay, and that is very important. If even if I'm 1 or 2 minutes late, something bad would happen. Okay, he would either go away or she would either go away, and this happens. So this is all that. This is a very basic example. This is all that. That is something related to when we have lost personal control, which means now we cannot master and shape our life. Okay. And then unsettling effects of change. Change is scary, let me tell you. Change, we need to understand change management. Okay, change management is important. Okay, like and this is the very fact in life that what is constant in the universe is change. Everything is getting changed, and they are changing within less than nanoseconds. Okay, even we are in our body, new cells are forming, the old cells are getting dead. Okay, we're taking breath and we are releasing, we are breathing, and that process is also making a soul. So second by second, minutes by minute, hours by hours, what we are going through change, and that change needs to be, that is automatic change. But now there are things like we have been in UKG, from UKG we go to, and then first LKG, from LKG first standard, second standard, third standard, fourth standard. So change is everywhere, and this is stressful. Okay, and when new course come up, okay, we if we look at the content of the book, I'm giving you very basic examples. If you look at the content of the book, okay, or if you look at the questions that are there, then we might feel stressed. The content is big, the number of questions are, is greater as compared to the previous classes. So as the course changes, okay, and we might, get stressed up. But this is all about perception. For someone it is a challenge, and for some students it is stress. Okay. And then if we move from one city, our hometown, to another place, okay, to attend the college, that is also a change. New people, new surroundings, we need to live on our own. Who would be our hostel mate, who will be batchmates, and how the new teacher will be, how the new friends will be. Okay, for some people this is interesting, they enjoy that. Okay, whereas for some people this is a big stress. Okay, so broadly there are three causes. Number one, someone is threatening or challenging us. Number two, change. Okay, because change is very unsettling. And then the feeling that we have lost our personal control. Okay, and then there are few common causes. Okay, so these are immediate causes, these are specific causes, not broad categorization, like changes in family relation, financial responsibilities when come up, increased in academic demands, being on your own in a new environment, etc. So all these are common causes that of stress for college students. Okay, and when there is a divorce in the, okay, or when there is a fight, there is also change. Okay, like few days earlier people were loving in harmony, and today they have started fighting. This is a change. Okay, there is a change in the reaction, change in the situation, change of events. So we need to control that, we need to understand that. And once we understand the source of the stress, then most of the things are okay. So we will be understanding that. But till now we have understood the stress. What is stress? We understood it's a reaction to change events. or situation in life, again reaction is perceptive, reaction is perception based. This could be negative and positive. Negative is distress, positive is eustress. Okay, and at the same time it is all about how we take that situation. Okay, and stress can be categorized. Okay, the causes of stress can be categorized into three things. Okay, when we feel that outside force is threatening us. Outside force can be like we are sleeping in a home alone and there is a darkness. Okay, and then we are fearing from the darkness, so this is a kind of stress. So this is an outside force. We feel that either this is threatening us, probably some ghost will come out from that, or probably it is challenging us. Okay, so when there is a challenge or threatening from outside, okay, world, there is a birth of stress. Okay, so changes in family relation, financial responsibility, increased academic demands, being on your own in a new environment, all these are the causes of stress in students. Now we will understand the symptoms of stress. So first we understood the what is stress basically, and then we understood the causes of stress, and now we will be understanding the symptoms of stress. So basically there are three spots where we can find out the systems. There are these are emotions, physical and mental, although all these three are interrelated. Okay, if it is mental it will be emotional, and then it will be physical as well, and it can be opposite as well. Okay, so likewise there were three causes, broad causes. Similarly there are three broad categories in which the symptoms can be spotted, on which the symptoms like emotions, physical and mental. Okay, and what are the most common symptoms of stress? That is fatigue, anxiety, hypertension, probably high blood pressure, palpitation, these are heart problems, insomnia or too much sleep, then sexual problems, sweating palms, shaking hands, inability to focus, gastrointestinal problem. Gastrointestinal is basically all the system that is related to digestion. Okay, and so fatigue, you can understand, it's a physical problem. Anxiety, it's an emotional mental problem. Hypertension, this is again mental problem. Palpitation, it's a physical problem. Insomnia, too much sleep, that could be mental, physical and emotional as well. Sexual problem, again this is mental and emotional. And our sexual health is very much affected by this. Okay, then sweating palms, shaking hands, this is physical problem. Inability to focus, this is mental problem. Okay, gastrointestinal problem, this is again physical problem. So we need to understand, we need to think that the symptoms would come on at emotional level, at physical level and at mental level. Okay, so instead of taking drugs, instead of taking medicine to cure fatigue, anxiety, hypertension, palpitation and all that, we need to be careful. We need to be careful with the stress. Okay, although we can take medicine, there are plenty of medicine, natural, homeopathic and natural medicine or allopathy, but still there are other things, there are other activities that we can do which will decrease the amount of stress. Okay, and that is important. Okay, so as we all know, prevention is better than cure, so we will be learning that. Okay, so this was just a brief session till now to make you understand, but the most important of the climax topics are now how to handle stress. This is important. Okay, we understood what is stress. Okay, what are the types of stress, what are the causes of stress, okay, what are the symptoms of stress. So all these are symptoms of stress. Okay, high blood pressure, okay, people get anxiety hoti hai, so hum घबरा जाते हैं, why this anxiety is happening. Some or the other way anxiety is due to stress. Fatigue, थक जाते हैं, that is also due to stress. Gastrointestinal problems, what are these? These are also related to inability to focus. जब भी हम पढ़ने बैठते हैं, even if we try to study, whenever we try to study, what is happening? we cannot focus, there is something that is running in our mind. Okay, it is taking something away from us. So this is again the problem symptoms of stress. Now the most important part, that is, and one more thing is, there is a problem with adrenal and corticosterone hormones. If body release, when there is a stressful situation, body release this adrenaline and cortisol, it affects immune reaction. Longer exposure to all these hormones, probably for 6 months we are in stress, for 3 months or 2 months we are in continuous stress, then what is going to happen? These are good hormones, adrenaline, cortisol are good hormones, but if it is released in a proper amount, released in an ample amount and longer period of time, what is going to happen? It will start affecting our immune reaction, metabolism, and other stress responses, which will lead to high blood pressure, respiration problems, heart rate, and physical demands on internal organs. So basically stress is a very dangerous thing. अगर ज़्यादा हमने स्ट्रेस लिया, if it is prolonged for too long, then what is going to happen? All our organs will be affected in a bad way. Liver, kidney, and all that. Okay. Metabolism is important. If you're suffering from stress, you'll do you can invest n numbers of hours in exercises. Okay, but your metabolism will be slower. Okay, and whatever we eat, it will be converted to fats. Okay, this is what we need to keep in mind. Okay, metabolism should be good. Okay, and then there is immune reaction. What will happen if this adrenaline corticosteroid is increased? The healing will decrease, and all that diabetes and all that things will be, will be getting any time to the body. So these are the basic things that we need to understand, and most of you will know it. And now we will talk. Okay, and then there is a behavioral expression of stress. Okay, like if there is a stress, there is a behavioral pattern, changes in behavioral pattern. Okay, and that we will also see. Okay, so now there is irritability. Okay, then there is harsh treatment of others. We will often fight with people, okay, on no reasons. There will be angry all the time. Okay, overeating or undereating is one of the problems. Then compulsive shopping. Those who are in stress, they will go on shopping without any reason. They will buy plenty of things. Okay, increased alcohol consumption and smoking. Okay, when there is a stress, what we do, we increase the alcohol consumption or probably smoking, which is also dangerous. These are all narcotic things, and this will take us deeper into addiction. Then there will be problems to stop, smoking and consumption. And then harsh treatment of others, we understood. Irritability. Okay, we will get irritated very easily. Even a noise, even a high pitched tone can irritate us. So these are all the expressions and symptoms of this stress. Okay, and now the most important part. Till now we have understood what is stress basically. Okay, it's a reaction to changes, events, and situation in life, and that reaction is based on perception. Perception is how we take the situation and react. That could be negative as well as positive. It is negative, this is bad for health. Is positive, it is good for health. And then there are 3 broad causes for stress. If some outer party is threatening us, okay, and change is unsettling. Okay, change can irritate us easily. And third one is when we feel that the life is getting out of our hands. Our life is getting out of our hands. All these 3 feelings are basically the origin of stress. Okay, and now the most important or the climax part of this session, that is managing stress. Okay, so first of all, we need to understand ourselves. Okay, the first thing to manage stress, the first thing, okay, to manage is to observe ourselves. We need to understand ourselves. Okay, Now what we have to do, we need to, okay, look how we react in different situations. If somebody is shouting at us, what is the reaction that we are? If somebody is shouting at us, then what's the reaction? If somebody is shouting at us, what's the reaction? Okay.